My name is Henok Tesfaye. I'm the child of the diaspora. I am from Ethiopia. I was born in Ethiopia 1973 as a child. I came to this country early 90s. I've been here 25 years. I came around when I was 16. I've been here over 25 years now. I came here early 90s to attend school. I attended DC Public School as a child. I went to Lincoln Junior High, and I also went to Bell Multicultural High School. I attended junior high and high school in Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. has been good to me since I came to this country. I arrived in Washington. I'm still in Washington. I was going to school, hard work. In the early 90s, I attended UDC. Everything was what I've done in my life. I went to college in UDC and transferred to Virginia, George Mason, but I love DC. I attended college. While I was attending college, I was working as a parking attendant here in Washington to make a living because I need to work, pay some bills, and college funds. I was working as a parking attendant. While I was working as a parking attendant, I figured out the business. I said, why don't I do this myself? So in 1998, while I was working, attending college, and I was looking for a business to open, I had only $800 in my pocket. So I was driving around looking for places to rent. I found a place on U Street. It was 12 on U Street. If you see now, there's $1 million condominium on the property. Lincoln Theater wasn't even open. U Street is a famous street in the early 60s. We learned in the U.S. history, American history, you learn a lot about, the Martin Luther King, the rights and everything on U Street. I used to like U Street. You hear about it, I walk by, from school. And I was passing by, there was a big sign called for lease or rent, a place on U Street. And I looked at it. U Street at that time, it wasn't, how that, it wasn't this much clean. It was a rough area. But I said, you know what, I'm going to try something here. And I called the number, find out the owner, the landlord gave me a chance to rent the place. And it had only 22 parking spaces. That's where I started my business. U Street was born there. That means, I'm an immigrant who came from nowhere. I came to this country with $50 in my pocket. It was in early 90s. From the $50 in my pocket, now I'll tell you my success story. I opened that parking garage. It was a surface lot. It wasn't even a parking. I opened the door. I'm working at nighttime. Daytime, I don't have somebody to run it. I work daytime, go to school. It was nothing. I even put a parking sign. Lincoln Theater wasn't open. I put a parking sign, $1 parking on U Street. This is early 98, 99. Even 2000, no one wants to park on 12th Street. And I waited another year. I was paying, my savings from $800. It was just, I was frustrating. And 2 years later, I was going to close it. And I went to DCRA, figured it out in a way where I can get a dealer license, which is a used car dealer license. That's when I got a used car business. And I kind of survived for a few years because used car business, I used to buy cars, sell cars as a used car dealer. A few years later, U Street kind of changed. The Lincoln Theater opened up. That's when I got welcome. Everybody who comes to the Lincoln Theater, they start parking in my parking garage, and they start renting places and monthly parking. Then I kind of survived. That's where U Street was born. Since then, I kind of like the parking business. I started with 1 employee, early 1998. Now we have over 500 employees in our company. My success story in early 2005, I got awarded a contract with the convention center. That was my biggest contract. In 2005, when the convention center was demolished, the old convention center, and I was in the parking business, and they were demolishing it, I asked people, I said, what is this going to be? Is this going to be a building, or is this going to be a parking lot? I heard it's going to be a parking lot. I'm just telling you my success story, how success came. And I went to the convention center. I went to the pre-bid proposal meeting and the RFP process, and I didn't even know I was going to get the deal. And We went to the RFP process. We submitted an RFP, and we're going back and forth, shortlist and all that different stuff. And we got a call from the convention. You got the contract. It was awarded. It was a success. I was crying. I mean, first time, huge, 1,200, the biggest surface lot in Washington, D.C., downtown Washington. It was awarded to a minority company. And in order for me to get that, that's why the city has been good to me. I mean, I owe the city. I mean, I love the city. The city, I didn't even know anything about LDBE, LSDBE when I was bidding, CBE, and now we call it Certified Business Enterprise. Back in 2005, it used to be called LDBE, Local Disadvantaged Business Enterprise. And in order to bid this contract, you have to be certified to a certain process, which is small businesses, which is the city was encouraging to have 35% participation, or the minority company, it can be a full 100% bid on the contract. So that's why I was going to joint venture. It was a bigger firm, but no one trusted me to joint venture. They all went different ways. They joint venture was the person that they had a relationship with in the past. So I was the first one on the block, and I did it by myself, and it was awarded. And the CBE, the small business certification, has been good to me. That's why I always tell people, listen, you need to be certified. There is a lot of huge opportunity until now. Now it's called CBE, Certified Business Enterprise. There's a lot of business in the city. Since then, it was awarded. I have that contract until now. Now there's a city center DC inside the parking lot. City center DC was $800 million project. It was done in my own parking lot. Now I can tell you the story. We're still managing the city center parking garage as their, we were selected as their parking management company to the Hines. So the city has been good to me. We are a DC company. We were selected, we were a minority DC-based company because the airport's always looking for an opportunity. And DC government's always looking for, they want the DC company to work in airport businesses because we participate in that. It's a federal fund, and they were very happy when we got it because this came because the city's been good to us. The city's always helping. Our new mayor is helping. She's looking for a small business. She's always pro-small business. And that happens every mayor when they come. They're always pro-business, pro-small business. So I tell the immigrants, you have the land of opportunity. This is a beautiful city. This is the world-class city. I mean, we're not only the capital city of United States of America, we are the capital city of the world. This is where people need to be. I mean, I came to $50 in my pocket. Now I have 500-600 employees. You know, we have a good operations. I'm so happy to be a part of part of the city, you know. I'm very happy to tell you my story. I mean, I know we might not have enough time, but my story is too long, you know. But the city has been good to me, and I'm in the city. I tell the diaspora community, Ethiopian Americans, African Americans, whomever wants to come to this country, this is where the land of opportunity. There is nothing you can get anywhere in the world. There's nothing like USA. I mean, I'm in Washington, but USA is the same, you know. But this is the best city. I call it the chocolate city. I feel like this is my home. It gives you an opportunity to study, to work, to succeed. I mean, I think Washington or USA is everybody's home. I mean, they welcome you. So that's when I came, I see the difference, you know, in opportunity. That's what I wanted to study in working and, you know, explore the opportunity. As a young immigrant, you go through a lot of processes, obstacles. You don't have enough money. You don't have a family to support you. I mean, you might have an uncle or family member, but they're all struggling to work even to pay on their own rents and to survive. And it was tough. It wasn't easy. I mean, the success doesn't come that easy. My success story is different, but the hard time was paid. I paid all the hard times. I mean, there was a time where I didn't have money. There was a time I used to walk to school. There was a time I didn't have money for buses. There was a time, I didn't have enough money to pay the rent, and we'd live with roommates, 2, 3 friends together in 1-bedroom apartments. I've been there, done that, It wasn't easy, but I think my success come from the struggling time. I see that if you're strong, this is the only place you can make it, It was tough. I mean, there was a lot of times I went through hard times, even after I opened my business. I mean, it was a struggle time, but I tell the immigrant, this is the only country in the world, and especially DC. You have a huge opportunity. So we need to support, we need to live here, work here, and look for an opportunity. Opportunity doesn't come that easy. You have to pay. I mean, it's not a red carpet for you to go and jump and to succeed. You have to pass through a lot of hoops, problems, and challenges. In my business, I mean, I had a hard time getting a loan, You can go back to my story. I needed $35,000, $40,000. No one wanted to give it to me. The bigger bank, I went to a lot of different banks. No one trusted me because I need to buy a car to sell. I don't have money. I mean, you can look at it in 2006 or something. I went to ECDC, it's called Ethiopian Community Development Corp. They had a program called Micro Loan Program. So I went there. I had a few cars. I had 2 cars. They needed collateral to lend me that money, $35,000. So I had to give them all my cars title. They put in liens. I mean, I signed whatever they want, and they gave me that $35,000. That's how I started it, to buy cars and everything. So it's not easy, to go to the bank because as an African-American, Ethiopian-American, you go to the bank, you don't have a credit, and you don't have anything. No one will sign for you. You need a co-signer and all that. I don't have a property that I can put collateral when I started. It was tough. But you can pass all that hopes. It's like a ladder. But don't give up. I mean, success doesn't come that easy. Success comes with, I tell everyone, to my kids, my friends, I say success comes with a series of relationships and networks and patience. My goal is to support immigrants, African Americans, and I want to give back to the community. I want to tell them the truth, so the success, the keys, what I went through. I want to teach them. As we speak, we have a few interns in our office, which is the new mayor's program from 20 to 24. The young youth program the mayor just announced. We have maybe 5, 6 of them in my office. I feel proud when I see the DC resident. Young kids, 2022, they come into my office. The DC is paying for it, but they coming to work, to learn. If I change 1% or 2%, if I teach something, that means a lot to me. That means a lot to me. And my employees, 70 or 80% of DC resident. I mean, we've been getting certificate from the district government, and I'm happy. I always tell my people, make sure try to hire a DC resident. Give them an opportunity. This city has been good to us, That's why, you can come and see it. This is what we're doing. And I want to give back to young kids. And I have an NGO that I help. It's called Mary Joy. I'm the chairman of the board. They work with young kids, orphanage, who doesn't have moms, kids in Ethiopia. Now I'm the chairman of the board for the North America. This is the kind of thing we give back. I have 60 kids that I sponsored in Ethiopia. They depend on me. 60 kids. I sponsor them. I feed them. I give them shelters. They don't have family members. Every month I support those kids. I feel good. I have a chance to give back to some 60 kids. It's not easy. This is what makes me feel, I go to sleep quietly. I have no problem because I have some kids that I support. That's what I do, not to give back. And not only teaching people how to get success, I'm helping people who doesn't have nothing to eat, who doesn't have a shelter, educations. I sponsor a lot of kids. And this is what I enjoy it. I go to sleep well. I talked about my parking businesses, but I'm diversifying real estate. I have another company. I do a lot of real estates. We buy whole houses and apartments. I have a few real estate development businesses in the city. Every investment I want to do in the city, I love it. I enjoy it. And it's like my hobby. I call it, it's like a mentor project program. For the immigrant. When they see me, I get a lot of calls from OAA, Office of African Affairs, a lot of the immigrant office, Refugee Center, ORR, Office of Refugee Resettlement, ECDC, Ethiopian Development Corporations, a lot of them in the area. On summer programs, when they want, kids, and there are people who come to Africa, all over Africa. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go, and they need experience. They need someone like me to talk to. When I help them, a lot of them. I don't know to mention a name, maybe 100 of them in the past. They come to my office, I help them. I give them a job. I tell them the expense, what they need to be done. And that helps me a lot. I get a lot of calls from the immigrant community, not only one, maybe 10, 15 of them. And there's a lot of immigrant community here. Latino community, African community, Office of African Affairs. We're always open, and I always trying to give them an opportunity if we have an opportunity for them. And I don't want, because I came from that area, I feel it, I sense them. Sometimes, there was one time, this guy came with 3 kids and his wife. He doesn't have a job. It was tough for him. He doesn't speak English. They came with a diversity visa program, the DV they call it, and they have 3 kids. And one of the committee sent it to me. That's a story I always tell to people. They came to my office with his kids and his wife. They don't have anything to eat. They have a paper, they can work, but they just can't find a place to work because they don't speak English. That's the kind of thing. I gave him an opportunity to work. I think he still works with me. That's the kind of thing I feel. Every time I see him, I see his change. I see him driving a car. When you see someone change in your face, I feel it. It's a different feeling. Success doesn't come that easy. It takes time. Keep your words, follow your dreams, and success comes with a series of relationship. Means when I say relationship, you have to build up a relationship. A relationship doesn't come that easy. Relationships and network with people, and then you can succeed. Everything is very important. So this is Washington D.C., a land of opportunity. This is a small business friendly. I think I tell everyone, you can make it. It's easy, and work hard, you'll be succeed.